Greetings all. Welcome to the third annual dedication ceremony of the Nobel Peace Prize. When I despair, I remember all throughout history the way of the truth have always won. There have been tyrants and murderers, but in the end, they may seem invincible, but they always fall. Think of it, always. These are famous words quoted by none other than Mahatma Gandhi. In honor of his legacy, we're going to look at some surprising facts about Gandhi's personal life, his career, and his politics. When we reflect over the achievements of Gandhi's life, early on, he became the prime leader of India's nonviolent independence movement. He was an architect in the form of civil disobedience. He studied law and organized boycotts against British institutions. The fight for India's independence in 1947, Gandhi staged peaceful demonstrations. Some of his demonstrations were the fights against poverty, women's rights, which in 2017 was the largest march noted in U.S. history, and even religious tolerance. He became immortalized in our psyche as a hero of rights and synonymous with the act of peaceful protesting. Known as a hero of human rights and fighting for nonviolent rights, these are seen today as some of the most potent philosophies in the studies of freedom struggles. He influenced many leaders, heavyweights such as Nelson Mandela, Cesar Chavez, Dalai Lama, and even Martin Luther King. He led many hunger strikes, which was a form of self-purification and a protest to end bloodshed. Deemed as the father of India, he fought against racial segregation faced by Indian immigrants, and he fought for a group called the Untouchables, which was India's lowest classed rung of their caste system, and he led many walks, marches, and travels on their behalf as well. So he was known as a great civil rights activist. One of the most notorious marches was the Satyagraha, which means firmness of truth, and this was a march against the Salt March, which prevented Indians from buying and selling salt. He led many campaigns and took on many roles. Some of his most known roles were those of a reconciler and a mediator. He even wrote a letter to the enemy, Hitler, which was labeled Dear Friend, and this was a way to end all war. He had many ideas, many views and beliefs, so he was known as a spiritual person and a religious person. So he fasted often, and he was an advocate of celibacy, which he believed would free him of material goods. He was such an affectionate person. He had love for all of humanity, and he was so loyal to his cause that he gave up his own medallion that he earned in fighting in the Civil War to prevent India's involvement in post-wars. So in the years of Gandhi's death, his name has been evoked by organizers of numerous demonstrations and movements. He has been a beacon of hope for the oppressed and marginalized people around the world. He was nominated 5 times, and regrettably, by the committee's decision of 2006, it never won. But today, we're here to make it official that the Nobel Peace Prize Award for 2018 is given with great honor to one of the most individual influences of our time, Mahatma Gandhi. Let's give him a hand.